Purpose of this study is to explore the process of innovation by looking at the development and diffusion of urban gardening in Detroit. I live in Birmingham, Michigan, a Detroit suburb. I chose this topic because my son Tyler, a 23-year-old engineering student, worked and lived on an urban farm in Detroit from July to October this year. The references that I used include Everett Rogers' Diffusion of Innovations, Lariston Sharp's article, Steel Axes for Stone Age Australians, and Peter A. Glore, Swarm Creativity, Competitive Advantage Through Collaborative Innovation Networks. I have come up with my own definition of innovation. Innovation is the diffusion of an invention or idea that has the capability to create a social change. This study will explore urban gardening in Detroit as an innovation that matches this definition. Detroit, Michigan was once the fourth largest city in the United States. The expansion of the auto industry led to the population to peak to 1.8 million people in 1950. By the year 2000, Detroit's population fell to under a million residents, and then by 2010, the population fell another 25%. The collapse of the American auto industry has hit Detroit hard. Detroit has 18% unemployment. Only 25% of all students in Detroit end up graduating from high school. Today, 53.6% of all children that live in Detroit are living below the poverty line. Detroit is nearly 140 square miles. That is enough space to fit Boston, San Francisco, and Manhattan with room to spare. Some neighborhoods are more than 50% vacant. These numbers increase daily as cities' foreclosure rates continue to rise. Detroit is the most dangerous city for the fourth year in a row, according to Forbes magazine. The median price of a home in Detroit is now just $6,000. Some homes in Detroit have sold for a single dollar. There are more than 75,000 vacant properties in the city of Detroit. Detroit will benefit from urban agriculture because of the size of the vacant land. Urban farming serves a local demand for wholesome, inexpensive food while providing residents with jobs and a greater feeling of self-worth. Over the last 6 years, Detroit's urban gardening has steadily increased in numbers. Urban gardeners have implemented sophisticated methods to grow their crops efficiently and have organized themselves into co-ops to sell their produce at Detroit's Eastern Market and other neighborhood markets. The Garden Resource Program offers gardeners free soil testing for pH balance, lead, and other contaminants. With the steady growth of small-scale urban farming, the new proposals for larger-scale farming, and the vacant land issues, the time is right to set policies in place that will allow Detroit to become a leader in urban farming. Greening of Detroit began in 1989 by planting trees and shrubs in parks along the city streets. The project blossomed, and today it includes a range of initiatives creating useful landscapes from abandoned land designed to benefit local residents. The organization now supports a network of over 15,000 urban gardeners and more than 1,000 gardens over Detroit. The community farming project will evolve even further with a donation of $200,000 from Bank of America in September. Urban farming increases economic prosperity by creating jobs and developing new local industries. It also improves the health and safety of the residents by providing wholesome food. Hunger and malnutrition affects children's ability to learn and are believed to be factors in contributing to Detroit school children performing at low achievement levels and high dropout rates. There is also increasing demand for locally grown food, especially in local restaurants and stores. Detroit's enormous vacant land could provide wholesome vegetables and fruits to a large percentage of its population, as well as its restaurants and retail food stores. Urban farming creates access to well-maintained green spaces, fostering a sense of community, building social capital, and uniting residents around a common purpose. Urban gardening is a simple innovation. The risk in urban gardens is from lead-contaminated soil. It is a major concern for urban farming because plants absorb lead through their leaves and from the soil. Lead contamination is widespread in Detroit. It is important to learn about and support existing community-based efforts to help gardeners test for lead. Building raised beds with clean soil is one method. Knowledgeable gardeners, such as those in existing gardening programs today, already use this and other related methods. Urban agriculture improves the local environment by removing blight from vacant lots and returning green landscape to cities' neighborhoods. Many 20-something adults are moving into Detroit to own and work on urban farms. This gives them a sense of helping the community, along with building relationships and the opportunity to learn how to farm. Along with a tough economy, Detroit had a corrupt mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, from the year 2000 to 2008. He resigned as part of a plea bargain agreement after being charged with 10 felony accounts, including perjury and obstruction of justice. Dave Bing, a former Piston NBA star and owner of Bing Steel Corporation, took office as mayor of Detroit in February 2009. Bing has been a driving force behind urban farming in Detroit. Michigan State University announced that it will invest $1.5 million over the next 3 years to turn Detroit into a world hub for food system innovation. The university will primarily be involved in creating an agricultural knowledge base in the city. They envision creating a small 8 to 10 acre physical site that may include a state-of-the-art greenhouse. Michigan State University signed a memorandum of understanding with Detroit Mayor Bing to begin layout of the groundwork for the program they are calling Metro Food Plus Innovation Cluster. This will allow them to explore the creation of the Innovation Hub. Organizers plan to involve about 80 local organizations active in Detroit's food network, including D-Town Farms, Eastern Market, and the Greening of Detroit. Mayor Bing hopes to integrate the initiative with the framework for the city planning. The university hopes that the project will encourage increased cooperation between local farmers and distributors. Detroit ranks second in the United States for its obesity rates. The lack of access to healthy food is one of the leading causes. Most of Detroit's streets are dotted with fast food restaurants, convenience stores, and liquor stores. The city has no major grocery chains. As a result, the city residents have limited access to healthy food other than highly processed foods. Detroit's urban farming will provide wholesome vegetables and fruit for a large percentage of its population. The recreational activity that gardening promotes may lead to a healthier lifestyle, as well as health benefits through horticultural therapy. Innovation is the diffusion of an invention or idea that has the capability to create a social change. The city of Detroit can no longer afford to maintain the vast amount of vacant land it owns. At the same time, Detroit is faced with a void of nutrition combined with high rates of crime. Urban gardening is not the answer for all of Detroit's problems, but it will enhance the aesthetics of the city, create jobs, and improve food quality. Urban gardening is a creative and sustainable method to restore Detroit's vacant land to a viable use.